Good afternoon, good evening. This is Just a Mama. It is February 4th, and it is the actual time of the Super Bowl. And so Spirit has called me forth again to offer another video. Each time I do, I learn from this channel and begin to understand, because I just kind of do what Spirit says, and then sometimes it takes me a few days to understand myself, to catch up. So to begin, I want to welcome you, and I now understand it's important for me to give an intro and orientation to this channel for you if you are a first-time viewer. That this channel is spirit-driven and there is no face, no ego, no selling here. You may probably experience some kind of a disorientation because this channel is intentionally image-starved. And so it is, Creator set it up this way for us to kind of think of this as sort of like a landing zone of being together, actually being and breathing together. And to open the divine space of prayer, of collective prayer. So many of the concepts and images that will be presented here, mostly through the various altars, are in a way intentionally shocking or presented to confront your current worldview. You'll be invited or challenged to contemplate, mull over these concepts that are given, hidden concepts that have been hidden from your view. And how I think it is so beautiful, because there is no face, no ego, no selling, no whatever. There's another way that it may put you in a sort of disoriented, slightly uncomfortable place, because you really won't have your knee-jerk ability to judge, which again is spirit-driven, because it opens the opportunity for you to actually connect within you and to simply feel within you if the concepts that I am presenting resonates with your own inner knowing. Also, it's important to speak a little bit about the images on the altar. That this channel is intentionally working with different archetypes. And if you know about Carl Jung and the notion of sand tray, that stories can be told. So each altar is actually spirit. Sometimes I will get the knowing that this altar, which is always laid out here, is out of balance, and I need to redo it. often I don't know how or why or whatever, and I'll just start randomly grabbing things, and then the whole thing gets reoriented. In fact, this altar is only 3 hours after my previous video. But I was resting, and Spirit awoke me really because of the Super Bowl going on. And I had to literally come out and start changing the altar and then doing these things. And now what I know is that it is important that I open this space in this, I'm sorry to sound a little weird, but anyway, in this particular time continuum, even though maybe only one other person may hear it, that I affirm and intend that this prayer be manifest throughout all humanity, be part of the prior prayer of burning the biofilm of hidden deceit off of all arms, legs of the cabal. And that in that revealing, we can begin to perceive, to remember, to have remedial, in a way, remembering of our natural and authentic connection with the divine. So I invite us to breathe. And as you breathe in through your nose, to breathe in horizontally right into your heart center, at the center of your chest. And so this time, this moment is so important, this day, this prayer, because already the balance has shifted and the lines are so very drawn. We have the program Sleeping Man with all of the images of the pretty promises that were given to him deep in the trance of that. But the danger is so that, and the divine energies that are inundating us right now are so powerful. There, it is the divine feminine, the true divine feminine, Mother Gaia, Sophia, Guadalupe, Kuan Yin, compassion, kindness, Jesus Christ, and the revolution, the awakening, part of the awakening is that we need to bestow so much compassion upon ourselves because we have been so lied to and deceived. And that deception has just simply, in a very sweet way, just taken advantage of your, our, my good nature. It really is important to get this, the two kind of major things that have happened to us is that they put that little wedge in between the yin yang sign, which is intended to teach us about the natural balance of opposites, and they put a little wedge. So now everything is so separate. People, the Democrats are comfortable standing in there, I am the light, the knowing, the whatever, and then pointing the finger about all of these other horrible Republicans. But the devastation that is important, I believe, to understand is the underpinning of the structure of the cartography, the spiritual cartography of how they did it. And I began to go into this in my earlier video today, but I don't think that I was strong enough, because in the imagery that I have over to the left, it's the way that humanity has been. That there was a time in history where our word was our bond. Yeah? Where all of these four different levels: physical, the red at the bottom; green, the emotional level, which is activated through our relationships. Hello. And then the orange, level of mental ideas and beliefs, which is often the home base of crusades. And then the very top, the spiritual level, the most potent, which ultimately is expressed through our lives, body, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual body, through the values that we embody. Embody? Or not. So there was a time where contextually that was the expectation of how people operated together. One human being dealt directly with the other human being, gave them their word, they kept it, life was good. This natural relationship bonding was taken advantage of. And it really isn't the Democrats. It's a demon craft that infested the Democrats. The Democrats are idealistic, and they do, shall we say, get triggered, get activated by high-minded ideals. Yeah? So that was taken advantage of through all of the organizations and the new age stuff and the empowerment and the lots of promises that triggered our emotional high ideals, the dreamer, high-minded. So we hopped on board, and then we went ahead and did what they wanted us to do. This is the primary Hegelian dialectic, right? And we end up never seeing them. It doesn't look like anybody's running the show. We don't see the hidden hand. So while that, what I'm just talking about, lots of people know what this channel is about, is revealing the deeper part, or the more catastrophic part, is that this process, no, that's not it. The process of offering promises, getting people involved in organizations and blah, 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 different, kinds of things, taking their money in the background. But none of the things ever went anywhere. I mean, my goodness, people, take a look. I mean, it ought to be totally shocking to the Democrats with the State of the Union address, with the statistics. How little was done during the Obama years. It looked good. Lots of people got involved. But it all was either a cul-de-sac that just went around and around, an endless process, right? You talk about feminism, what's the byword of that? Process. No results. So what happened is during those 20 years, So many of us, particularly in the East, got used to just going along with the process. We're just in the process. And the fact that we don't get any results doesn't even really enter our mind as a problem. I mean, it's like the blindness is really scary. Another way for people to get a sense of the blindness is if you look at what's been offered, another way of doing it, waking up to that, and I'm just going to point to it a tiny bit, is the work of Ken Wilber and the notion of the AQUAL, which is all quadrants and all levels. So you've got a inner level and an outer level. And the problem is the outer is where you get the results, either on a personal level or on a collective level. But what happens with the Democrats is they just keep, yeah. So this entire video is a prayer of awakening. And it's part of the dream that I was given this morning. I am a dreamer and I'm given dreams. And the dream was seeing this biofilm, a very thin film, a millimeter, a very thin film, like it's just amorphous film, biofilm, that was covering everything. So that, and if you think about biofilm, you can't really grab hold of it. It's too amorphous. So in that moment, what we did was called a prayer and called on the presence of Jesus Christ. And I call on the presence of Guadalupe. And I call on the presence of Kuan Yin. Call on the presence of Sekhmet. Call on the presence of Pachamama. Call on the presence of Sophia. Call on the presence of the love of all mamas. Call forth the presence of the love of all families who cherish their children. Call forth and activate this love within our heart centers and send it forth like it looks like it is a light that I cannot describe, but as it touches the biofilm, it just dissolves it. It radiates it. It's like if you've seen any images of old film burning, it's kind of like that, like film off of a reel. So understand, beloveds, that how they cannot exist without this biofilm of deceit. Where the pretty little things that they offer are revealed for the truth of the separation that they cause. So I call forth the power of all of us mamas, even though none of us may ever directly hear this video. But I call forth this prayer that it gets sent out and touch the spirit, that we understand how crucial our prayers are right now. And that we understand that there are many paths that go into the one. That balance is taught to us through nature. We just need some remedial lessons of what it is to honor the sacredness of all life. It's that simple. And so at the beautiful 27-minute mark, which is awesome, just a mama, over and out.